knows, maybe one of the vents got broken out or something.
Right.
Whipped onto the crawl space. Wasn't in there.
There's one. That was with the Wobbler. First cast though. What's up? I'm on Lake Toho. Let me get this fish in. With Jim, we fished yesterday and they bit like right as soon as we started fishing. I didn't have the cameras out. Jim brought a swim bait, like an underspin of his own, and caught one about 6 pounds right off the get-go. And then I caught one about 8 on a Pippinator, and we caught him real quick, and I never set the cameras up. I've done that before, haven't been making a lot of videos, but we're on a big offshore spot with some, on Lake Toho, with some surrounded hydrilla and peppergrass on a little secret shell bed I know about. And that was my first cast with our watermelon red wobbler from CPF on a little weighted screw lock hook. And we're gonna be out here seeing what we can catch today. We were worried about the kiss of death, bringing the cameras out, making the fish not bite. But we'll see how it goes. They bit early yesterday and then shut down. Hopefully they'll bite all day today. This one about 3 pounds though. I know, he felt like it. Got him? Yeah. Stay on the hook. Any size? No. No? Well, so here it is, like 2 hours later. We whacked him yesterday morning, and basically the same weather this morning, but we did have a little bit of clay. It got bright and sunny super early this morning. Cold, it's supposed to warm up. It was in the 40s this morning, supposed to warm up to 75. I jumped one off a little bit ago, no reason putting that on the video. And then we've moved down, and I'm seeing fish out here on the 360 and turning my live over on them, my Mega Live, and we can see them out there, but they're glued to the bottom. The bites that we're getting is when we're just sitting here talking about golf a little bit, and they don't even want us to move this worm. That's a hard thing for people to do, is to throw a worm and not move it. So you gotta, sometimes dragging these big worms out here, it's best to throw it out there, let it sit, check a couple text messages, drag it a couple inches, think about life and everything, drag it again, and then you'll get a bite. Super difficult thing to do, especially if you're tournament fishing, you know. But yeah, or if you've driven 9 hours from North Carolina. But they're out here, just not the same start to yesterday, where we had 20 pounds in the first, 23 pounds in the first 45 minutes we were out here. But we're out here all day, so we're gonna put something together. Most of my fish on this wobbler, oh my God. Yeah. Top water. Not moving it. Not a bad one. Lots of treble hooks. Hooked him right in the handle. Come here. We're out here, bright sunlight. You can probably see because my camera's facing in it. Throwing a topwater plug, dead calm. Let me get my forceps. About a 3 1/4, probably. Been a little bit of 2 3/4, 214, call it, on a Berkeley spin rocket that I've had for about 5 years. When Berkeley first came out with these, it's very similar to a devil's horse. Not sponsored by Berkeley, but it is a good bait. Florida, we throw devil's horse a lot. Problem with the devil's horse is it's made out of wood, and if you use them, start really use them a lot, that paint will crack and they'll kind of absorb some water. And I've used a lot of copycat baits over the years, that prop baits that resemble a devil's horse. They never seem to work as well as the devil's horse did. And then a few years ago when Berkeley came out with this, I guided a few of the reps from Berkeley, and that was right before iCast one year, and they came out with this, and I started using them, and it's the one bait that seems to work as good as a devil's horse, and it's plastic, so you don't have to worry about that wood wearing out. But it is like high sun, dead calm, which you'd think don't throw a topwater, but sometimes I'll throw a topwater like that because they can't see it as well. It's like they're only seeing the silhouette of it, and you gotta let it sit there, which I've probably been working a little too fast here because I'm trying to cover some water. But that fish just, we were talking again because the fishing's real slow, and that fish kind of surprised me, came up out of nowhere and hit it. So don't be afraid to throw topwater right in the middle of the day sometimes. But we're not catching a lot. I don't think anybody is. There's a whole bunch of boats out here, and I haven't seen anybody catch one in a while. Twitch it and let it sit.
They weighed them on the boat, but I think what they were trying to do is do catch and release.
Got one, finally.
They're trying to do catch and release, but also have something to show people waiting.
I don't know what tournament they're like. It's not bad.
Good 5 pounder out there.
No,
No?
he's strong. He fought so hard he lost like 2.5 pounds.
He did get a little skinny there.
Yeah, skinny one.
Still is.
Been a slow day. Slow. Switched over to the dirty Albright. Well, that was a long day on Lake Toho. It's supposed to blow like 30 miles an hour tomorrow. I got a big front coming in. Figured it'd be better here today. We talked about this yesterday when we had an okay. We didn't catch a lot of fish yesterday, but our best 5 of the day probably weighed 23, 24 pounds. And he kind of made a comment. He's like, "Oh yeah, you got to bring the cameras out tomorrow and curse us." And it seems like that's what happened. We caught a few today, but it was not that great.
Yeah, but everybody we talked to.
Yeah, not very many people caught them today. You just have those off days. We covered a lot of the lake, fished deep, shallow, fished some brush piles, caught one on top water out of nowhere. It was just kind of a hit or miss day. You're gonna get those days sometimes, but sometimes you learn more on those days than you do on the days you're catching them. But thanks for watching. Sorry I haven't, for those that care, sorry I haven't been putting a lot of videos out on my channel. A lot of my videos lately have been shorter version videos, or I've been making videos for Icon. So go over to Icon's channel on YouTube and check that out. But thanks for watching. See you next time.